Welcome back to Joe's Stunner Boxing. As you can tell, I'm back home. The kimono's back on, the blue background. Brilliant time I had in Lithuania. The journey home was agony. It was the journey from hell. I won't bore you with the details. Otherwise, I'll go into one, and then the first 5 minutes of this video will be me whining about my trip home. But I had a brilliant time over there. I mean, Kaunas in Lithuania, beautiful place. If you get a chance, go to Kaunas. Vilnius is good, which is the capital of Lithuania. Latvia is another country I really like, and Estonia is great. But anyway, I did what I always did when I came home. I relaxed when I finally got home. And I read all the boxing news just to sort of have a quick catch up. Because when, obviously being on holiday, I wasn't paying as much attention to it as I normally do. And one of the things that sprang out and hit me was comments from Oleksandr Usyk regarding the proposed December the 21st rematch. Now, with Tyson Fury, by the way, as if you didn't know. Now, I made a video a couple of weeks ago saying that, reporting really on what Ricky Hatton had said about Tyson Fury. And Hatton and Fury are friends, I gather. And he was saying that he had doubts about Fury in the rematch and his chances of turning the tables on Usyk. And during that video, in fact, in several of my videos, I've said that I have doubts whether this fight will go ahead. And I know a lot of you do as well, because you've left comments below. And some of you that I've spoken to and had little private conversations with, you're like, I'm not sure whether this goes ahead. Now, at the moment, as things stand, I make it no better than 50-50 that this fight will go ahead. Usyk versus Fury rematch. There is a contract, as Usyk points out. He says he has a contract, and so do I, until December the 31st. We have to hold this fight up to and including that date. Now, if December the 31st comes and goes and Fury picks up an injury and pulls out for whatever reason, I'm not sure what the contractual, whether there'd be an extension on the contract because of an injury. I haven't read the contract, don't know what the small print says. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if Fury looked to get out of this fight. And possibly, as other people have already stated, maybe take on the winner of Dubois versus AJ, which would be a very, very lucrative fight. And of course, Fury versus AJ should have already happened, but didn't. I won't go into that one. Been into it enough times in the past anyway, but that would be a viable alternative for Fury, and it would also be a fight that he might consider he could win, because I don't think he thinks he can beat Usyk, or I think he has very serious doubts whether he could beat Usyk. And to lose 2 on the bounce, like AJ did, for any control freak or narcissist, or however you want to define Fury's behaviour over the last X amount of years, to lose 2 on the bounce to the same guy, a middleweight, as he put it, a much smaller man, that really would destroy his ego fully. And with narcissists, with control freaks, you do get the feeling that the ego, once shattered, takes away all their power, because everything they do is driven by ego. And we all have an ego to some extent, don't get me wrong. But when the ego dominates completely, when the ego forces you into self-denial or delusion, or anything of that description, then that can be that can be fatal if the ego bubble is burst. And 2 on the bounce to Usyk, I think, would really destroy Fury's the hook on which he hangs all his neuroses. Now, to avoid a second defeat to Usyk, to kind of make out, well, I was injured, and I couldn't get it. It wasn't really my fault. It was out of my hands. But I tell you what, I took on AJ or Dubois, whichever one's going to win. I think it'll probably be AJ. I took them on, and I didn't duck anyone. And he'll put the spin on it, and there'll be a bit of gaslighting and all the usual bullshit that comes out of his mouth. But Usyk also said, I really like the fact we're preparing for December the 21st. It's a good date, a good month. Okay? Christmas? Yeah, okay. But he says this. He says, if he, meaning Fury, pulls out on December the 21st, he'll lose all his dividends and money. Dividends and money. I wonder what that means. I know what money means, but what does dividends mean? And this is the bit that made me chuckle, and I bet I'm not the only one. And he being Fury, won't remain a man of his word anymore. Oh, okay. So Fury, a man of his word. Well, how long did it take Usyk to get him in the ring previously? 18 months, roughly? I don't know. I lost track, to be honest. But yeah, Fury being a man of his word, I suppose, is the first time for everything. But yeah, so basically Usyk is saying, I'm not so sure he's going to turn up. He's echoing the feelings that myself and a lot of other people have. I know a lot of you don't think Fury will turn up. The contract is an awkward one, because if it's the cut-off point is December the 31st, how would that work? Would Fury be able to wriggle out of it if he was injured? Or would there be an extension to the December the 31st date? I don't know, to be honest. And don't forget, of course, even though Fury was the loser of the first fight, there's no doubt there's tens of millions on the table for him. And God only knows what Usyk's earning. I mean, I tend not to be that bothered about these astronomical purses, because once you get past 50 million, it's like, it's kind of, if you think in your mind you can visualize £1,000, £10,000, maybe £50,000. Maybe if you lived a life of Riley, you can imagine $1 million. But once you get into the tens of millions, it just becomes numbers. Well, it does to me anyway. I'm never going to have that sort of money. Most of us aren't. But there's a lot of money to be lost here if the fight doesn't go ahead, especially for Usyk. And yeah, Fury will have to be careful here if he does want to pull out. If he does want to pull out, because I'm not saying he won't. I'm saying I have doubts whether he'll turn up. He might try and wriggle out of it. But if he hasn't got an airtight reason, he could be challenged in court. That's another point that we have to mention. And also, Turki Al-Sheikh, even though he was on very good terms with Fury, if Fury was to wriggle out of this, I wonder how it would impact on his relationship with Turki Al-Sheikh. Perhaps the excellent Turki would say, "No, I'm not funding you against the winner of AJ or Dubois. I can't trust you. You're not a man of your word, So I don't know. But anyway, Usyk, he seems to have his fingers and his toes crossed that Fury's going to turn up on December the 31st. December the 21st, 30, did I say 31st? No, it's December the 21st is the fight. December the 31st is when the contract runs out. But he has his doubts, doesn't he, Usyk? You can read between the lines. It's almost like he's psychologically putting some heat on him, saying he's almost preempting any sort of games that Fury might choose to play by saying, I'm watching you, I'm aware of you, I'm keeping an eye on you, and I know I know the little tricks you might get up to, so don't try anything. And if Fury does do anything, of course, Usyk can turn around and say, well, I told you, didn't I? But what do you think? Do you think Usyk is justified in being so sceptical? Yeah, I think he's probably on the money. Like I say, 50-50 at best. I think Fury turns up, but we'll see. What do you think? Comments below, as always, and I'll give Marine an answer as many as I can. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. As always, please subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the like button, because they count the likes. I still don't know why, but they do. They count the likes. It's all to do with algorithms. That's the word I learned over the last few months. Algorithms. Because if you're kind of old like me, all this stuff is just slow old fanny, really. Anyway, much love. Thank you very much. Catch you later. Bye for now.